Hello there. International companies wishing to transfer an employee from a foreign location to their Canadian operation may be able to do so if there is a legal relationship between the entities. But what exactly is a legal relationship? How is it defined? Welcome back. My name is Donovan Francis. I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer at Goose Law Immigration, where we help businesses secure work authorization for their Canadian employees and save them from all of the legal hassle. In this video, I want to spend some time talking about what is meant by a legal relationship between companies where a multinational company is looking to transfer an employee from a branch or a related entity outside Canada to its Canadian operation. In order for a company to do that, they typically have to do so under what's called a program called the ICT, the Intra-Company Transfer program. This is a Canadian immigration program used primarily or exclusively by multinational companies. And by multinational, we mean companies that have at least two operations in two different countries other than Canada, plus their Canadian operation. So they have in total three different businesses, three arms of their businesses in three different countries. Those are, as far as Canadian immigration law and the Intra-Company Transfer program are concerned, those are ICTs, right? Multinational companies. Now, in order for a company to qualify to bring workers to Canada under the ICT, that company must first prove that it's a multinational company. It's an international company. And to do so, the company must show not just that it has, revenue generating businesses in three countries, including Canada, but it must also show that the relationship between all of these companies, or rather that there's a relationship, a legal relationship, that ties all of these companies together. And a failure to meet that requirement would mean that the company does not technically qualify as a multinational company for immigration purposes under ICT and would therefore not be eligible to secure work authorization for its employees. But what exactly is meant by a legal relationship? Well, there's a very specific definition for that. First of all, both the Canadian and the foreign company must be legally established businesses, right? So the Canadian entity must be set up inside Canada. It must be a legal entity, right? And even a legal entity that has its own definition, right? So a legal entity means any enterprise, or organization that has been set up under Canadian law, US law, wherever the company is located, and is either privately owned or owned by the government, right? And this includes corporations, JVs, and so on. And it also includes religious, charitable organizations and not-for-profits as well. But ultimately, these are going to be legal entities. So in order for there to be a qualifying relationship, there first needs to be a legal entity. And this legal entity must have a parent or a branch or a subsidiary or an affiliate in the different countries. Okay, so a corporation that has an operation inside Canada, that operation may be the parent company inside Canada, and then they may have set up a branch in the US, and they may also have a branch in India, or they may have a subsidiary or an affiliate in another country. It doesn't matter which of these it is. The important thing is that these must be all related. And the thing that dictates whether or not there is a legal relationship is ownership and control. Okay, so is there common ownership and control between the entities? So the Canadian parent company and the branch in the US and the branch in India, for example, is there common ownership and control? Do the parties that own these entities, are they the same parties? Okay, so that is what will dictate ultimately what the legal relationship is. And so ownership means, the right of possession to full power and control and authority over the entity. So whoever has full power and control over the Canadian parent company should also be the same persons or entities who also have control over the branch in the US and the branch in India, in order for there to be a legal relationship, right? And control means the right or authority to direct or manage the business. So those are going to be critical elements when trying to determine whether or not there's a legal relationship, specifically for the purposes of applying for an intra-company transfer and a work permit under the ICT program. And it's also important to note that there are some types of business relationships that would not meet this definition, right? So if you are in business, you are in contract, for instance, a business that is in contract with another entity, right? That in and of itself is not a qualifying relationship, because there's no common control, there's no common ownership and control between the entities. So that doesn't count. So it's going to be important as an employer to distinguish between, contractual relationships with unrelated entities versus, relationships with related companies. And that's going to be another crucial factor when trying to secure work authorization for employees who you are wanting to transfer from one of your operations outside Canada to your Canadian operations. All right, I trust you found value from this. As always, remember to like our video so others will see more videos like this. Subscribe to our channel and check us out on go.gooselaw.com. Thanks. See you again.